Here's my kiln. Just took an old household dehumidifier, which leads into that bucket. And in the first week, I get about 2 to 4 gallons in this bucket every day. A series of just 4 heat lamps, some 2x4s, some framing, and then what you see here is a tarp. Behind it is a series of box fans, which I only use a few. And you can see here the little stickers, which are just plywood that I cut into 3/4 by 3/4 strips that are in between each thing. And so what happens is the fan blows through and it forces, because of this tarp, which is fastened to the bottom of the fan board. And there's a board inside here, so I can roll that up and let it roll out depending on the height of the stack. And the fans are on hooks, so it can move up and down. And that way, when the stack changes heights, this tarp can drop down if it's a low stack, and the fan can tilt up if it's a high stack. And then you have to strap everything down, just because if you don't, the wood is going to do exactly what it wants to do, which will be warp like crazy. So this is just another piece of the 3/4 inch foam with the foil on the inside. And basically I just made a simple frame with a towel rack handle to take it out. And basically I just marked out these screws. There's a lot of people that I've seen try to make doors and that kind of thing, but for this big, the key thing is you want this thing to be airtight, and you want the dehumidifier to only work on that inside area. So I found that just by screwing it here and all the way across and all the way down, it keeps this thing airtight. So come tomorrow, there should be about 2 to 4 gallons of water in here. It works amazing. As you can see, the bucket is right about 3 gallons. Mid-afternoon yesterday. This is the last batch right here. So the problem is that as it dries, it can kind of cup this way or cup that way or start getting wavy. And when it goes through the sawmill, you'll find chatter going this way. So this is my prototype. Basically what I did is I got these lineal bearings here in the rails, a set of 2 of these, which are 47 inches, give or take, and these roller bearings, which get 4 of those and 2 of these. Goes for about $90 on Amazon. So I have 2 sets here, 2 sets here, 1 set here. So it's about $300 worth. So then I took and made a plexiglass router base. Actually, the biggest thing was these mending plates, these little pieces of steel, which keep all of this parallel. And it runs that way. It runs that way. And if you look real close, you'll see there's a flattening bit right there. And that's how we flatten the slab. It gets all the bumps and roller coasters and all the weird stuff on the slab after it's dried and gets it perfectly flat. The beauty of this jig is that little screw right there and these screws right here. If you lock them in, this can be a straight edge device to cut and make the edge of a slab perfectly straight. So I made these sides at 7 inches with a little return right here, and these bracings that run through at 4 inches. I used an area here that will support a sawhorse and to square the unit up. Same thing over here. And then if you look at the spacing between here and here is about 4 1/4 inches. So what I can do is add strips to the top of this to adjust for the slab. So it would mean that the maximum that I can do would be about 4 1/2 inches, because there's a little room for this bit to go up. And so now here's the working setup. And can go back and forth, and I can also lock this into position to cut a straight edge into a slab.